Good evening, Philippines. Good morning, good afternoon, world. Welcome to another interesting episode here at the English Blog, a blog of English teachers by English teachers and for English teachers. My name is Adrian.
I'm Christine.
I'm Sarah.
We have been joined by our special guest for tonight, our very first episode for 2021, Coach RC Sustiguer. She's a life coach, trainer, entrepreneur. She's a certified John Maxwell trainer and facilitator, and she helps individuals and organizations strengthen their communication and team synergy through a transformative and experiential coaching programs. If you guys haven't seen her first guesting, you can click the link below. We're going to put it in the notes. All right.
We are so excited to have Coach RC for our very first episode of Season 4. We can't believe we made it this far. It's been so fast, and we are so incredibly excited to have all of you guys on board. And with Coach RC, we are talking about personalities in the classroom. And this is especially applicable to you if you are a teacher. So stay tuned, you guys.
You can find the English Blog all across social media. We premiere our vlogs weekly on Facebook Live, but you can also find us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, where our vlogs go after they've premiered on Facebook. Whatever platform you prefer, please like, follow, share, subscribe, give us some comments about your personality, about some difficult personalities you've encountered, or if you are interested in the services and training that Coach RC does.
So welcome to the English Blog once again, and we provide customized lesson plans, curriculum mapping and unit planning services, life and career coaching sessions, weekly blog and blog content related to ESL education. If you have any questions or concerns, if you want to hire us for any of these services, visit our website, theenglishblog.com. So this is our first question for our special guest for this evening. What are the different personality types, Coach RC?
All right. So thank you very much again, Sarah, and then Christine and Coach Adrian. It's a great honor to be here again. It's a great question. What are the personality types? As this consultant, we have these 4 types of personality: the dominant, the influencing, and then the steady, and then the compliant. But let me show you a video first. If you will permit me to share screen.
When was the last time you saw a meeting occur that should have been an email? Have you seen your team burn through wasted hours because someone had not been clear about a need or goal? Communication failures keep a good company from reaching its goals. Your company is the sum of your human capital. People are your business. The results your team can gain from their efforts are in direct correlation to how they engage and communicate with each other and your customers. Take a direct path to increasing your bottom line results by ensuring that your team communicates clearly, effectively, and efficiently. Engage with your John Maxwell Team DISC certified instructor for our DISC training that will unveil the personality and communication styles of each team member and unlock a new level of communication clarity for your business. Gain the critical tools needed to reach the goals you've set.
I showed you a video on this personality in terms of organization, but this is also applicable to classrooms. The teachers, it's very important to know the personality of your students. It's important to know that the way you communicate is actually different from other people as well. So each one of us has certain uniqueness when it comes to our personality. So let me show you the D. What is the D, or the dominant? I call that D as the dominant eagle. So it's just a symbolism. The D, if you're a dominant person, I'm I'm going to share screen again. If you're a D-ward person, most probably you're always on top. If the student is a D-ward person, that person would like to be on top of the game. That person would like to navigate, to lead. And then that person would like to take the lead all the time. And that person would like to instigate anything that is new. So for the D-ward, and then the I, it's influencer or influencing. That person would like to persuade, compel. That person would like to create a lot of stories, narrate stories, and even entertain. The C-word people, those are analytical. They love to think. They love to count. They love to, sometimes they have this analysis paralysis. But that's actually the downfall. But you can actually capitalize on their strength as well. If you're an S-word, if you have a student who is an S-word, that student is actually an easygoing. That person would like to follow through. That person is very loyal. So if you are here, if you're a D or an I-word person, you're actually an outgoing person. But if you are you belong to CS or C and S or compliant and steady, you're kind of reserved. And if you are a DC, you are more into tasks. You're task oriented. And if you're IS, you're actually what? You are people oriented. So in a classroom setup, we know that we need to connect to the giftedness of each student. It doesn't mean that you belong to a personality class. Like say, for example, you're a D, you are higher than S. There is no such thing as there is no superiority in terms of personality types. Each type is actually something unique. And if you capitalize on your particular strength or gift, that would be great because there's something that you can actually unleash with your own gift. So those are the different personality types according to the DISC personality profile. And this was actually authored by William Martson.
I was wondering, Coach RC, you've worked with a lot of different people in a lot of different contexts. And I think, of course, students are just as likely to be D as they are C or any other one. But do you think that there's a personality type that is more common in teachers? Are they more likely to be one over the other, or is it all equally likely?
It's a combination. Yeah, like teachers, sometimes they're D or I. You can actually a combination of 3 personality types. So you only need to take an assessment if you are a DIS or IC or a combination, but it's only you're only a combination of 3 personality types, and there is no such thing as for a combination of 4. So for teachers, you can be different. It's not really you're not only a D ward or you're not only an S ward. Yeah, I guess it's a combination.
Okay, thanks. I think so too.
Because you can be a D word person when you navigate, and you can be an I word person when you would love to also connect to the crowd. When you're a person who would love to connect to a group, then you're actually shifting to becoming an I word. And if you want to connect to your student individually, you really have to be an S word, because you need to follow through, you need to walk through, you need to guide the students. Yeah.
Okay, so Coach RC, as a certified John Maxwell trainer, what do you do in relation to DISC personality? Because I attended one of your seminars before.
All right, so what I do as a John Maxwell trainer or this personality trainer, I actually coach people and I allow them to connect to their giftedness. A lot of people are actually gifted, but they actually don't embrace who they are. And they have the tendency to compare themselves to other people. And it is so important to allow the people to have this higher level of awareness, to appreciate who they are, the way God designed them. So as this personality trainer, aside from me coaching, I also allow them to appreciate who they are and allow them to use and capitalize their own strength. what we do is that, as apart from training, we ask people to have their own assessment, because it's important to take an assessment. It will be more accurate when you take your own assessment.
Coach RC, do you have any specific examples where you empowered students, people who were not very happy with themselves or they did not have a lot of self-confidence, and you managed to help them tap into their inner strengths? Do you have any personal examples of that?
Yeah, I usually do that for young people and young professionals. Most of them are really afraid of really bringing out something because they are feeling suppressed. They cannot really unleash what's within. So what I do is that I immerse them to trainings, or sometimes I walked with them. I talk to them individually. I coach them individually. We have our Zoom session as well. Sometimes it's one-on-one, or sometimes in a group. So they will be exposed to group discussions. And I see I see different results. It depends on individuals. If you're an S-wired person, it would work if I walked with that person one-on-one. If a person is an I-wired, most probably that person would work if you're talking to the person in a crowd, because that person loves spotlight. If the person is a D-wired, most probably you just have to tell them straightforward, what do they really need? And then if the person is a C-wired, that's the time that I tell them the why. Why are they doing what they're doing? Because they're more into why, asking why. Yeah. So some of them, probably the best example would be one of my coaches became a broadcaster in Japan. So that, yeah, I thank God for the privilege of walking with that person. And yeah, it takes a process to coach someone else, but you just have to wait until that person will really become mature.
Thank you for that. I was especially curious because as a language teacher, it can be quite challenging to work with students who are more on the S word and C word side, aka reserved. And I was a student like that myself, so I know what it's like to be that kind of student. And it really helps having a teacher who can help them unleash their inner strengths. And yeah, it's nice to learn that from you as well.
But yeah, I agree. It's kind of difficult to manage the S and C because they're more reserved and they need a process. And because they need a process, you have to also embrace the process. And it takes someone who has a big heart to really walk with them and really extend compassion.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Thank you for your insights.
So, Coach RC, knowing what we know about all of these different personality types, how can you take knowledge of these types and interact with your students to make it like a win-win situation for all the different personality types, and specifically in a teaching context?
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna share screen again. For a D-wired person, it's very important to also understand that they're actually born leader. They're dynamic, decisive, goal-oriented. They seek practical solutions. They're activator. They lead and they love to organize, and they excel in emergencies. So how do you motivate someone who is a D-wired, and how do you interact better? It's important to connect to their giftedness, and we need to give them the opportunity to lead, because that's what they want. They want to lead. So it's very important to give them opportunities to lead. So when we talk to them, it's important to say, I like that you are very confident in yourself. I like that you set your mind to something and go after it. So it's important to also express that, because a D-wired person will appreciate. And that person will be motivated to lead and lead better. And how do you interact better to a D-wired student? always answer the question, what? What has to be done and what is the bottom line? For someone who is a D-ward, this person doesn't need a lot of introductions or a lot of stories. This person needs to know, what do you want to say exactly? All right, so that's for the D-ward. And for the I-ward person, this person is very active and sometimes impatient, loud. This person seeks attention, even negative attention sometimes. And this person has a big emotional display. So how do you deal with someone who is an I-ward? How do you motivate this type of person? Give this person an opportunity to socialize and talk. So if you're a teacher, you're not the only one speaking. Allow that person to talk, to tell stories. And how do you talk to that person? Say this: I like that you are fun to be with. I like that you are a friendly person. And I like your enthusiasm, because this person needs affirmation. You know, one thing about the I-ward people or I-ward students, they don't like to be rejected. So if they say something, just listen. Just listen. It's very important to listen. As teachers, we are not just trained to talk, but we're actually trained to listen. All right, so if you are talking to an I-ward person, always respond to this question: who is involved? And probably you can say your friends will be there. Your friends can do it too. They will be with you, because someone who is an I-ward doesn't want to be alone. This person needs a crowd, a group. So that's for I-ward. And then for S-ward, these are people who are easygoing, well-balanced, quiet. And you know what's one good thing about S-ward people? They can actually become your best friends. They're really good. They're loyal. They're agreeable. They're good listeners. They're always extending their hands, and they're actually consistent, reliable, and dependable. But there is a but. They don't like a lot of changes. They don't like a lot of confrontations. So what do you do as a teacher? The question that you need to respond is always the how. They need assurance. They need the assurance that they can actually do it. So you need to give them the process of doing things. It's okay, you can actually do it. Then you say, this is how you do things. Number 1, number 2, number 3. And then you really have to affirm, because, you know, as S-ward people, they always love to be assured by someone else. They need someone who is so caring, someone who is so gentle, until they will be able to boost their confidence. And if you want to motivate an S-ward person, what you do is this: you emphasize you need their help, because they actually want to support, and you capitalize on their strength because they want to support. So emphasize you need their help and give them an additional boost of confidence. So always say, I like that you are a caring person. I like that you try. At least you try. And you get along with others. And I like that you are compassionate. Remember, S-ward people, they love to build relationships. So how do you connect to your S-ward students? Build relationships. Build a healthy relationship. For C-ward people, they're analytical, they're logical, they're neat, organized, creative, conscientious. They seek perfection. They're actually detail-oriented. They're actually deep thinker and easily sees problems or errors. Capitalize on their strengths, because they're actually more organized when it comes to activities. They can actually see details that others don't see. And how do you motivate this person? And how do you connect to this person? By responding again, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. Respond to the why. Why are we doing this? Why are you doing what you are doing? It's always the why. And when that person gets that clarity, that person will actually be able to be more confident enough to perform whatever task. So it's important to know the personality types of your students, because each personality type has a strength. Again, I'm going to repeat, for a Dwarf, this is a born leader. But the natural tendency when there is stress signal, this person doesn't want to be abused. That's why this person would like to navigate all the time. For I-wired people, they are really good narrators. You even love to listen to them. But when there is a strong stress signal, this person doesn't want to be rejected. So in the middle of difficulty, the I-wired people, they would love to say goodbye. I'm gonna rest for a while. Okay, if that's so difficult, I cannot respond to those questions. So probably I'm gonna do the chicken exit. All right, so for the S4E1 people, these people, when you give them a clear instruction, they can perform better. Even in an organization, whether in classroom or organization, the S4E1 people, they can really perform better as long as the instruction is so clear. So, but you have to be aware of the stress signal. The stress signal is coming from a lot of changes. They don't want a lot of changes. So when you're a teacher, make sure that your instruction is clear. All right, and you don't create a lot of changes. And then for the C-word people, these are people who are very good in details. So also respond to their curiosity. When they ask questions, it's not because they're actually slow, but when they ask questions, the purpose is just for them to have clarity because they want to do things accurately. So for them, what will boost their confidence is this: when they do things in a very accurate way, in a very right way. So when they do the right thing, that makes them more confident. All right. I hope I was able to respond to the question.
It was a great response, and it made me think of our past vlogs about different learning types and that kind of thing, which I think go hand in hand. And I, as a teacher, I think sometimes I've forgotten about how the personality type is also a facet of your student, and that when you design a lesson, you should not only design it for different learning types, but also for these different personality types, have a variety of group work, chances to lead, chances to perform. Yeah, it's really, really relevant to the ESL classroom, I think.
And we do have a question later on personality assessments, but I'm glad that you talked about not only their strengths, but also their weaknesses and their drawbacks. And when I look at the different personality assessments out there, they tend to make everyone look like a winner. Like, they don't talk about the weaknesses of each personality type. And I'm glad that you were able to talk about that so that we could see the whole picture of each personality type, because that's very important, right? You know, you want to know the person as a whole, not just the good parts and the strengths, but everything. So I do appreciate that.
What are personality tests you would recommend?
All right. So as a DISC personality trainer, of course, I would love to recommend the DISC personality profile. But you know what? I also would like to give the teachers, the students, a bigger perspective that each personality test is actually incomparable to something. So you can take the DISC, you can also take the Myers-Briggs or the Strength Finders or others for you to have a bigger perspective of your own personality. So each test has its own strength, so you can capitalize on those particular strengths. But for me, as a DISC personality profile trainer, I would encourage people to take first the DISCs, because it's actually a balance of everything. And one good thing about John Maxwell personality profile is this: it has a leadership component. So you can actually evaluate in what area can you contribute more. How will you be able to exercise your leadership given that you are an S-wired person or a C-wired person? If you're afraid of confrontation, what do you need to do as a leader? If you're afraid to be abused, what do you need to do as a leader? So that's why I would highly recommend the students, the teachers, to begin learning this personality profile of John Maxwell.
I have like a follow-up question to that, which is I'm thinking about the ESL classroom, and sometimes, although it would be wonderful and can be a very fun activity to do personality quizzes with your students, sometimes that's not always possible, or possible to get these people to go really in depth into their personality. So do you have any recommendations or tips, or what are your general thoughts about, as a teacher, as somebody who's kind of the authority in the classroom, how can you look at other people and identify things about them even without them taking tests? Is that a good idea? Is that a bad idea? How would you do it, if it's worth doing?
Thank you, Sarah, for that question. You can actually, you will know the personality of the person by walking with them, by knowing who they are personally. But if the more accurate is that you will allow the person to take the test and confirm to the person. So apart from you checking, because we are not here to put a person inside of one box, it's important to allow the person to take a personality test. It's because it's more accurate than just checking how you think about the person. So we also allow ourselves to let go of the biases, judgments. Personality test is very important. It's more accurate. But if they will not take the test, and there are dominant, like the dominant personality is coming out, at least you are more aware of how do you deal with that particular person.
Thank you. Perfect.
Thank you, Sarah.
So you guys are actually in for a treat, because we have just given you like a free DISC training. This actually costs some amount, but we've just given out to you for free, courtesy of Coach RC. And wait, there is more. We have some good news for you, and I would let Coach RC share this part, if that's okay.
All right. So it's also a great news for everyone that we are partnering. The Good Vibes Radio is partnering with the English blog, and the English blog is now going to feature content in radio. So it's not just a social media. They're not just launching their content in social media, but they're also launching their content in traditional media. It's in Good Vibes Radio, 90.5 Good Vibes Radio. So it's an opportunity for us to have this greater reach and bigger reach, especially in my area. It's in Mindanao. So it's important to have greater access so that more people will be able to learn from you, Sarah, Christine, and Coach Adrian. I told Coach Adrian that I'm actually a believer of the English blog, and I love your content. I'm learning as a trainer, as a facilitator. I'm also learning from you. So I don't want to keep the learning from my within me. I also would like to share the learning to other people as well. So I'm sure Mindanaoans or other, the Mindanaoan people, they would appreciate your content too.
We're so excited, Coach RC, to have this mutual partnership with you and to work together with you in the future. We're really, really excited. Thank you for being a part of this.
So that means you guys, once that partnership is finalized, you guys can already start listening, streaming to our old episodes and even this one. From this day moving forward, you will always hear us mentioning 90.5 Good Vibes FM as we broadcast to you via Facebook Premiere. So we're just so excited for this partnership. I'm sure that would be able to add more value to more listeners and more people. And don't forget, the English blog team provides customized lesson plans, curriculum mapping, and unit planning services, life and career coaching sessions, weekly blog, and blog content related to ESL education. You can visit our website at www.theenglishblog.com.
As always, you can find us across our social media and now at 90.5 Good Vibes FM, where you will get our vlog content. You can also find our blogs at the English blog, and we'll be updating across all our platforms so that you can get whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. And wherever you want to talk to us, please do. Leave us a comment. Let us know what your personality type is. Let us know if you've done a DISC training or if you'd like to do one with maybe your teaching colleagues, if not your students. So yeah, talk to us across all our platforms. We are here for you and we love to hear from you.
Yeah, and also please leave us in the comments section what you think your personality is based on what Coach RC mentioned earlier. If you're a D, an I, an S, or a C. So once again, this is the English blog team. My name is Adrian.
I'm Christine.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm RC.
And we are the English blog team. Have a great day, everyone. Keep learning. Stay healthy and happy. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.